कोटि वैष्णव नमस्कार श्री हरिदास ठाकुर विद्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपीनाथ श्यामा कुंज राधा कुंज गिरी गोवर्धन मथुरा पुरी वृंदावन ब्रज गोविंदार की राम प्रभु माया को धार की माई जमुना माई की प्रसिद्ध भक्ति श्याम वेद भक्त वृंद की और प्रेमानंद कृष्ण से बंदी हो हरे कृष्ण हरे साथ मोदी साथ गुरु गौर
spiritual master is the very curtain to devotional service.
I bow down
His lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By this one can and obtain the mercy of Krishna. By the words emanating from his lotus mouth.
Perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes, he fills my heart. He is the Lord from the extent my incubators is destroyed.
The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. O spiritual master, judge with mercy, the friend and the poor, and the Lord and the master of the devotees. O Master, be merciful and give us the shade of your lotus feet. With him.
His divine grace for the HG Kaivalya Swami Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna devotees. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class, part of our morning program here. Welcome in our Zoom audience. Welcome those on Zoom. Today's Srimad Bhagavatam class will be given live here in the temple room by His Grace Kaivalya Prabhu. Just as a reminder, those that are on Zoom, please keep yourself on mute. Please chant along with us, of course. Just keep yourself on mute because there's a slight time delay.
Jai Radha Madhava Janavallabha Girivaradhari Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Bihar Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Bihar Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Parivarya Chakracharya Ashtottara Shishma Divan Keshri ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जाए अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जाए नामाचार्य श्री हरदास ठाकुर की नित्य भागवत सेवया की जाए all glories to assembled devotee all glories to assembled devotee all glories to assembled devotee all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottaram Devim Saraswati Vyasa Tato Jaya Mudiraye Shrunuvatam Swakataha Krishna Punya Shavana Kirtana Ardyantasto hi abhadrani vidhanoti suhatsatam Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati nashtuki Hare Krishna. So today we are reading Canto 2, Chapter 7 and text number 27 and 28. So I will repeat 27 3 times and then you can repeat it.
Takena jiva haranam yad uluki kayas. Did you recite? Takena jiva haranam yada ulaki kayas traimasikasya chapada sakato pravrittaha traimasikasya chapada satak Natya yadaringatantargatena divisparshorava yadaringatantargatena divisparshorava unmulanam tva itaratharjunayorna bhavyam unmulanam tva itaratharjunayorna bhavyam Takena jiva haranam yada ulukikayas jiva haranam yada ulukikayas traimasikasya chapada sakato pavrittaha traimasikasya chapada sakato pavrittaha yadaringatantargatena divisparshorava Ringatantargatena divishpush unmulanam tva itaratharjunayorna bhavyam. Takena jiva haranam yada ulukikayas. Traimasikasya chapada sakato pavrittaha yadaringatantargatena divisporshavo sparshorava tantargatena divisparshava unmulanam tva itaratharjunayorna bhavyam. I will read the text 28 also just myself. Yadavai vrajo brajapasuna vishayo toya pitan palan swata ajiva yad anugraha drashti brashtya tadachut shuddhayeti vishavirya vilala jivam ucchatayishyada uranga viharan hridinyas. So I will do word to word for 27th verse. Taken, by a child. Jiva haranam, killing a living entity. Yat, by which. Ulukikayaha, assume the gigantic body of a demon. Traimasikasya, of one who is only 3 months old. Cha, also. Pada, by the leg. Shakataha apravrataha, turned over the cart. Yat, one who. Ringata, while crawling. Antargatena, being overtaken. Divi, high in the sky. Isparshaha, touching. Va, either. Unmulanam, uprooting. Two, but. Itaratha, anyone else then. Arjuna Yoho, the two Arjun trees. Bhavyam was not possible. So I will read the translation in perfect and then we will discuss. There is no doubt about the Lord Krishna, about Lord Krishna being the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how was it possible for him to kill a gigantic demon like Putna when he was just on the lap of his mother? to overturn a cart with his leg when he was only 3 months old, to uproot a pair of Arjuna tree so high that they touched the sky when he was only crawling. All these activities are impossible for anyone other than the Lord Himself. Purport. One cannot manufacture a God by one's mental speculation or by numerical words, as has been become a practice for the less intelligent class of men. God is God eternally, and, and an ordinary living entity is eternally a part and parcel of God. God is one without a second, and the ordinary living entities are many without number. All such living entities are maintained by Himself, and that is the verdict of Vedic literature. To nurture the child in her lap, transferred onto lap of Putna, who was in a grave of respectable lady. Putna wanted to kill the child by smearing poison on the nipple of her breast. But when everything was complete, the Lord sucked her breast along with her very air of life. And the demon's gigantic body, said to be as long as 6 miles, fell down. But demon Putna, although although Krishna was quite competent to extend himself more than 6 miles long, in his Vaman incarnation, he posed himself as the Dwarfa Brahmana, but when he took possession of his land promised by Bali Maharaj, he extended his footstep to the top of the universe, extending over thousands and millions of miles. So it was not very difficult for Krishna to perform a miracle by extending his bodily features. But he had no desire to do it because of his deep filial love for his mother, Yashoda. If Yashoda had seen Krishna in her lap extending 6 miles to cope with the she demon Putna, then the natural filial love for Yashoda would have been hurt, because in that way Yashoda would have come to know that her so-called son Krishna was God Himself. And with the knowledge of the Godhood of Krishna, Yashoda Mai would have lost the temper of her love for Krishna as a natural mother. But as far as Lord is concerned, He is God always, either as a child on the lap of his mother, or as the coverer of the universe, Vamandeya. He does not require to become God by undergoing severe penances, although some men think of becoming God in that way. By undergoing severe austerities and penances, one cannot become one or equal with God, but one can attain most of the godly qualities. A living being can attain godly qualities to a large extent, but he cannot become God. Whereas Krishna, without understanding of any type of penance, is God always, either in the lap of his mother or growing up or at any age of growth. So at the age of only 3 months, he killed a Saktasur who was remained hidden behind the cart in the house of Yashodamai, and when he was crawling and was disturbed by his mother from doing household affair, the mother tied him with a grinding pestle. But the naughty child dragged the pestle up to the pair of very high Arjuna trees in the yard of Yashodamai, and when the pestle was stuck between the pair of trees, they fell down with the horrible sound. When Yashodamai came to see the happening, she thought that her child had been saved from the falling trees by the mercy of the Lord, without knowing that the Lord Himself, crawling in the yard, had waked the havoc. So that in the way of reciprocation of love affair between the Lord and his devotees. Yashodamai wanted to have the Lord as her child, and the Lord played exactly like a child in her lap. But at the same time, he played the part of the Almighty God whenever it was required. The beauty of such pastime was that the Lord fulfilled everyone's desire. In the case of felling the gigantic Arjuna tree, the Lord's mission was to deliver the two sons of Kuvera who were condemned to become tree by the curse of Narad, as well as to play like a crawling child in the yard of Yashoda, who took transcendental pleasure in seeing such activities of the Lord in the very yard of her home. The Lord in any condition is Lord of the universe, and he can act as such in any form, gigantic or small, as he likes. Text number 28. I will read, there is only translation, so I will read that also. When the cow heard a boy and their animals drank the poisoned water of the river Yamuna, and after the Lord in his childhood revived them by his merciful glance, just to purify the water of river Jamuna, he jumped in it as he playing and chastised the venomous Kalia snake, which was lurking there. Its tongue emitting waves of poison. Now, who can perform such Herculean tasks but the Supreme Lord? Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshirulmitam Yena Tasme Shri Gurove Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Vistapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. So thank you very much for giving me this great opportunity to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and purify my own heart and my consciousness. So today these verses are very good. Bhagavatam, each verse actually is very nectarian, and we should enjoy as much as we can. Especially this verse is all Leelas of Krishna. You know, there is not too much philosophy. It just says that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So many people actually do not believe in that he is supreme. Why not other? Why Shiva is not supreme? Why Brahma is not supreme? So they are in doubt actually. But if we see in detail, if we read Bhagavad Gita, there are so many hundreds of shlokas, which says that it proves actually that Krishna is the supreme. You see, Bhagavatam, so many sages and demigods, and Brahma and Shiva, they all prayed to the Lord. There is so many prayers, by different great personalities. And so they also says, that Krishna is actually so great, and all other literatures, Chaitanya Charitamrita also has many shlokas. Brahma Samhita, especially, there are so many shlokas in Brahma Samhita, which says that Krishna is the supreme. So today we will discuss few shlokas from Bhagavad Gita and maybe one or two from Brahma Samhita, and try to see how and why Krishna is the supreme actually. So Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. And why we say that? Because all the literatures prove that, there is criteria mentioned who may be the Supreme Lord. And Krishna fulfills all those criteria. Anybody cannot just declare I'm the Bhagwan, because Bhagwan's, anybody can say I'm Bhagwan, but what is the proof actually, So one has to fulfill all those criteria, what is designated for that particular position. So Krishna actually fulfills all those criteria, and Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures actually say that. So, like the first thing, Krishna is the source of everything. Everything comes from Krishna. Actually, nothing we can manufacture. All earth, water, air, oxygen, everything comes from Krishna. He said that, okay, I build a chair, I make chair in my factory, but where you got the raw materials? All raw materials comes from Krishna. So, and Krishna is so strong, even a blade of grass cannot move without the sanction of Krishna. And without his consent, until Krishna wants, nothing will happen to you. So he is the origin of everything. Everything comes from him. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, in the Chaturshloki Bhagavatam, the first shloka, 10:8, Aham sarvasva prabhavo mata sarvam parvartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So Krishna is saying, Aham sarvasva prabhava, I am the source of everything, source of spiritual world, source of material world. So everything he says emanates from me. And the wise persons, those who are intelligent, intelligent persons are who actually follows in the footsteps or all the great acharyas, great saints, and follow Bhagavad Gita, follow Srimad Bhagavatam. So those are the great saints, and we have to follow a pure devotee who is following his guru and he is in parampara. So, and we have to see the devotee we are following that they are actually serious devotees. So that's why we have to make sure. And then if you follow that, the wise persons who perfectly know, engage in my devotional service. So just sometime, people are the Gyanis say that just knowledge, but without performing the devotional service, because one is Gyan, one is Vigyan. So we have to practically apply that Gyan in our practice. We just theoretically, we read, it's not practical, it's not, it will never give us, just knowledge will never give us the pure bhakti. And it cannot liberate us, So we have to do devotional service, like chanting, associating with devotees, and glorifying the Lord. So all these things we have to do. Otherwise, it won't work. And they worship me with all their hearts. So we have to worship not like all their hearts, means not just like doing, that I have to do it. It's my on a schedule, I have to do this service, so I have to do it. But we should not do that. We should do with our heart that this is my service to the Lord, and having so much love. So then if we do it, then it will work out very nice. So if you see in Brahma Samhita also, Lord Brahma said that Krishna is the first primary creator of this world. He makes all the universes and everything, but Brahma is the secondary creator. He creates all the jiva souls, and he's Prajapati himself. He has so many children, many by his only mind. He can produce Manasputra, and he had many kids. Which was developed with the female. So what Brahmaji is saying, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. So it proves, how Krishna is the Supreme Lord. It's not somebody just say that way. It's not. So Krishna, who is known as Govinda, is the Supreme Godhead. He has eternal blissful spiritual body. It's not people think that he is without body, without form. Because if Krishna doesn't have form, how we have the form, So Krishna definitely has form. He plays his flute. He's in Golok Vrindavan. He comes time to time to different universes and enlighten his devotees. And he plays so many leelas. And so people can remember him, discussing those leela, remembering him. So that's why Krishna makes our job easy. If he doesn't come here, what we will discuss about? So we'll discuss Krishna's Leelas, Krishna's all the attributes, what he's doing for us, so all these. And Krishna has no other origin. He's the original person. He has no other origin. And he's the prime cause of all the causes. There is no cause beyond him. He's the cause of everything, what is happening here. So he's the cause of everything. So second attribute, what we will discuss is Krishna is the supreme controller. He controls everything. Everybody is helpless actually. And controlled, everybody is controlled by material nature. And material nature, he is the material nature works, Prakriti works under the direction of Krishna. So all the living entities actually comes to existence only by his will. And we come in this material world, we play our part, and then we are annihilated, When time comes, we go away. But Krishna is the controller. He is the original person. He is here always. And the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Maya dakshena prakriti suvete sacharachara hetuna anena kanteya jagat viparivartate. So he says that this material nature, Maya dakshena, it's running under my direction. Maya dakshena prakriti, this prakriti runs under my direction. And suyate sacharachara, and is working, is one under one of his energy, working under his direction. O son of Kunti, producing all the moving and non-moving objects. So all the objects which are unmovable and which are movable, like we are movable, we are moving. Like tree is not moving, it's unmovable. Unless under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So this is going on for millions of years actually. That things are produced and things are annihilated and then again produced and again annihilated. So everything comes from Krishna. And Krishna is the proprietor of everything. We may see, oh, I am the landlord and this is my land and this is my house, But actually Krishna, we will come and go, but land will be there, houses will be there. So it's not our house, We will go. Krishna is the original proprietor of everything in this material world. Everything belongs to him. And actually all the things are meant for his enjoyment, not our enjoyment. He is the enjoyer, not us. But we think falsely that we are enjoyer, and that's why we are suffering in this material world. Actually, we don't have anything to own. People say, oh, I own this thing, I own this thing, I own so much money. Yeah, these children are my children. Actually, Krishna gave us, You see, many people do not have any child. So this is the thing. But all the things are given by Krishna. But same thing, which is given by Krishna, which we don't own, if you give it to Krishna, he becomes very happy. Like a little child, he brings the thing, which is bought by father's money. Then if a child comes to father and gives his gift, on his birthday or something, father gets so happy, takes him in his lap and loves him so much, So this is natural, So when we also give something to Krishna, he appreciates that, he loves us that way. So that's what we should do actually. Give gift to Krishna, everything what we have, we should give it to Krishna, that Krishna, this is yours, this is for your service. Then Krishna will be very happy with us. And actually, we have to make Krishna happy, pleased. Everything, all the activities we do, so we should make Krishna happy. And that way, our life, Krishna will reward us. Krishna actually rewards us he reciprocates with us, with each and every devotee, individually. So actually, what is important is love. Krishna doesn't want anything, it's already Krishna's, So Krishna wants our love, and the love should be given to Krishna. So Krishna gives peace formula. If we follow that everything is owned by Krishna, then there will be no fight, because now every fight in this material world is there, just like little boundary, on the map, this is not my land, this is my land, and they fight like dogs and cats. So if we follow the shloka 529 in Bhagavad Gita, Bhoktaram Yaga Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwara Suridam Sarvabhutanam Yatva Shantim Ichchati. So that way, if we follow that, then ki Bhokta is actually enjoyer, who is enjoyer Krishna, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasa. All the sacrifices, he takes the results of all the sacrifices. So person who are Gatvamam, who is in full consciousness, he of me, knowing me to be ultimate beneficiary of all the sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets, and Supreme Lord of all the demigods, all the jivas, also everybody. And he is the benefactor of all, and he is well-wisher of all living entities. That kind of person, who is in full consciousness of Krishna, that kind of person can attain the peace in his heart, and he will be away from the pangs of these material miseries. So because these miseries comes because of our desires, and we want to enjoy this material world which belongs to Krishna. So let Krishna enjoy, and let us serve Krishna faithfully and with pure love. Then Krishna will be very, very happy. So that's the formula we should follow. And so next Krishna is saying, Sarvayonishu Konteya Murtaya Sambhavanti Yaha Tamsam Brahma Mahadionir Aham Bija Pradah Pita. So Krishna is saying that I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. So we all came from Krishna. Krishna is the real father. We may have so many father and grandfather and his father, but Krishna is our real father. He is so we all comes from him. And it's not just human being, all species of life. If Krishna takes, that's why he comes in this material world, and he comes as a Matsya avatar, he comes as a tortoise, he comes as Varaha avatar. So he comes in each kind of species, and he just encourages everybody to come back. So Krishna is father of everyone. O Sanam Kunti, they are made possible by the birth in this material world, and I am the seed-giving father. So Krishna is our father. We should understand that, and that way, other shloka, which is very important, which shloka that how Krishna is the supreme in the Bhagavad Gita. Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu ved na kaschana. Oh Arjuna, as the supreme personality of Godhead, I know everything. So Krishna is knower of everything. All the knowledge comes from Krishna actually. We didn't manufacture. This Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam actually was written by Vyasadeva, who is literally incarnation of Krishna. All the wisdom came from Krishna. It's not like Vyasadeva is part of Krishna actually, So everything comes from him. And Krishna very clearly says that nobody is greater than me or equal to me. Mata paraparam nanyam kinchit asti dhananjaya Mayi sarva idam proktam sutre mani gana iva. So he is saying that there is no truth superior to me. He is the absolute truth. That's why we say absolute truth. There is no truth beyond him actually. He is the biggest truth. And everything rests on him. Everything on this material world, spiritual world or material world, everything rests on. Because there are so many millions and millions of universes. We know about only 7 up and 7 down, but this is only one universe, but there are so many millions and scientists also are finding out that there are so many universes, other than only this planetary system, And the last one I'm going to tell about the nice shloka in the 10th, 12th, and 13th, which is Arjuna is praying to the Lord, Param Brahma, Param Dhamam, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashwatam, Divyam, Adi Deva, Ajam Vibhu. So Arjuna says, you are the supreme personality of Godhead. So this is saying, because Arjuna is like the soul actually, and he is telling that you are the supreme, so we should never doubt that Krishna is not supreme. He's the ultimate abode, Param Dhama. He's Pavitram, he's the purest. He's the Paramam, purest and absolute truth. Param Bhavan, you are the eternal. Eternal means a Shashvatam. And you are Divyam, you are transcendental. And you are Adidev, you are the original person. And you are Ajam. Ajam means you are unborn. And you are Vibhum. Vibhum means the greatest. So all the great sage we can see, the Narad, Asit, Deval, Vyas, they confirm this truth. They fully agree with this statement that Krishna is the supreme. So we should never doubt that Krishna is not supreme. And later on in the verse, actually, so we will go through the verse, the purport of Sri Prabhupada and try to see what he's trying to say, because there is all leelas in this shloka. In this shloka, actually, if you see, Krishna is saying in the beginning, like that Krishna, in the beginning, he's saying in the purport that he is the Supreme Lord, there is no doubt. And then he describes about Putana, that how he killed the Putna when he was just 3 days old. And we read the detailed Putna word, in the 6th chapter of 10th canto. And then there is a description in the purport about the Tranavat. Tranavat actually is described in the 7th chapter of the 10th canto. And then there is the Lila, Damodar Lila, like he break the Yamuna Arjun tree, he put down, which is described in the 10th chapter of 10th canto. And then there is Kaliya, description of Kaliya, which is in the 16th chapter of 10th canto. So this all, and very, very detailed description, but in the purport Prabhupada described very, very small description. So he's saying in the purport, one cannot manufacture God by one's mental speculation or by numerical votes, because the leaders are selected by the laymen, by the people, public, and they can select. So people cannot select God, because God is God. He's God always. It's not like he was not God before, like 1 second before, 1 minute before, and now he became God just to fight with me, and then again he will not be God. It's not like that. God is God every second. And one cannot God by one's mental speculation. We cannot think about the God by our own thinking, by the numerical hope. As has become practice of the less intelligent class of men. God is God eternally. He is eternal. That means it's not he comes and goes, or he is born and then he's dead and he's born. God never dies. Actually, Krishna never dies. Krishna is always here in this material world. And we are all part and parcel of Krishna. God is only one. God is one without a second. And ordinary living entities are many without number. So we cannot count the living entities. They are so many. There are so many living entities which we even do not know. We cannot see even by microscope. There are so small entities also. So there are so many living entities, and how God produces them. We can see the nature, how beautiful flowers are. There are so many different kind of beautiful flowers. And how everything comes, without God, nothing can happen without God's will. So God controls everything. All such living entities are maintained by the God himself. So Krishna maintains us, right from the ant to the biggest elephant to the biggest big fishes, in the sea, which are 10 miles long, so everything is maintained by Krishna. Many times people say, if I just chant, how Krishna, how I will get my daily bread, but Krishna will provide that bread. He will arrange if we fully trust in Krishna. So our main job should be to fully have full faith that avashya rakshibe Krishna. If you think that Krishna will protect me in all conditions, any condition, so then if you have that kind of faith, Krishna will provide everything to us. But our problem is, we do not trust Krishna that he will, our one leg is in this material world, one leg is on the boat, and then we cannot go anywhere, we are stuck in between. So we have to actually give up this material world, just material consciousness. Actually, we can live in this material world. Actually, in the Kali Yuga, it's very easy to get Krishna, because in Kali Yuga, we can just by chanting, we can actually get the liberation. Because liberation, what is liberation actually? Liberation is the coming out of the cycle of birth and death. So that liberation we can get very easily in Kali Yuga. So we are lucky to be born in this Kali Yuga. We are very lucky to be in the moment of Srila Prabhupada, because it's so, he actually defined everything so practically, that practically how we can do the things, how we can. So main important things in our life should be chanting, associating with pure devotees, reading, having, thinking about him, we should do manan, like we hear, like we hear every day, Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita are here on the YouTube, whatever we hear, we should actually do the manan, contemplating in our brain what I heard, because that's important. Otherwise, we hear from one ear, goes from other ear, and nothing stays with us. So if we want something to stay, we should think what I heard today. Put some notes, few lines at least, and then meditate on that, and tell those things to your friends. So that's very important also. We spread Krishna consciousness, we spread the word of Krishna. So Krishna becomes very happy, and you are purifying your life also and somebody else's life also. So that's important. And other things we can do, like reading Bhagavatam, and giving classes and all those things, they all purify. So if we do that, Krishna will be very happy. And it's not that we live here or Golok Vrindavan in as long as we are doing our duty in Krishna consciousness. Because there also we have to do service, it's not like once we go, it's not like a heaven, that, oh, we will enjoy and all the time we need not even tell Krishna's name once, it's not like that. Because demigods, actually, it's a bhog yoni. What they do in the Sargolok, they are just cashing their pious activities, once pious activity is done, once your checkbook has no balance, come back here again. So we don't want to do that, we don't want to go to Sargolok, to the heaven. Heaven is nothing. Heaven is more hellish actually, we feel we are enjoying here, but what happens after enjoyment? Nothing. So we have to see, we have to use our brain that what is best for me to serve the Lord and with love. So now also, like we should make sure Krishna gets happy with that. And we have to have full intention to make sure that Krishna will be happy by my endeavor. So when Krishna was on the lap of his mother, the demon Putna appeared before him. So now Prabhupada is describing about the Leelas. And Leelas are very nectarian. So just we will take few minutes more, there is still time. So we will discuss about few Leelas like Saktasur and Putna Leela and those things. So they will be very nice for us to hear those Leelas, and we will let us enjoy them. So Putna was one of the demoness, and she was working on behalf of Kansa Sena, because Kansa heard the sound, from the sky that eighth son of Devaki will kill you. So when Krishna was born, then Krishna was transferred to Nandagaon, to Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maiya. He was not in the prison. And instead, in the prison was the Durga Devi in the form of a girl. So when Kansa saw that it's a Durga, then he threw her, it's a girl, he threw her down. He lifted her up and threw on the ground, but then because she was the goddess, she flew on the roof, and from the ceiling, she said that Kansa, the child, who is going, ate the child of Devaki is already born and is somewhere else, and he's going to kill you. So then Kansa was very angry, and he told his ministers what to do, and he said, whosoever is newborn in the whole country, they should be killed. So he sent so many demon and demoness to kill those children, who are 10 days or below. And Shri Putna was on that project, So during that project, she came in the house of Mother Yashoda also. And she came in the form of very, very beautiful lady. And she was so beautiful that she was looking like Sakshat Lakshmi. So that way, nobody stopped her. Nobody stopped her. She just came inside the house. Nobody stopped her. And also, she came right in the bedroom where Mother Yashoda and Mother Rohini was there. So she came there, and she was watching. And people thought, all the gopis thought, Mother Yashoda also thought that she is Lakshmi, Saksha Lakshmi, and she is here to actually meet her husband, yeah, Krishna. So that's why they allow her to take her in the lap and everything. She took the Krishna in her lap, but she had bad intention, killing Krishna. She had smeared her nipple with the very strongest poison, and she wanted to kill. But what Krishna did actually, he took nipple in the mouth. Actually, Putna forced, it's described that Krishna forced her nipple in the mouth of Krishna, and Krishna took it. Krishna closed his eyes because he didn't want it to see Putna, the demon, because he know what is going on. And he closed his eyes, and then he sucked the milk, and with milk, he sucked his life air. And Putna was killed right there and then. And then she fell down on the ground. And she was how many miles? 14 miles. It's written 6 miles, but somewhere else it's written 14 miles also, So something quite big, in between. So she was so, and the big thing happened that she fell on the ground. There was a big park near a big park of Kansa. So she fell in the Kansa's ground. It didn't destroy anybody's property in the Nandagaon. So that's Krishna's watch, because it crashed. Whole park was actually demolished. So many trees were broken when she fell. And Krishna was still a little boy. He didn't extend his body, because he could have extended his body that long also, but he didn't do that because he didn't thought. He was just playing on her chest. And when the gopis saw, and Krishna was very happy and playing, nothing, as if nothing happened. Poison cannot do anything, to Krishna. So he was happy, and everybody thought, that Krishna was saved by the Lord, but he is the Lord himself, so it doesn't matter actually. And Putna was telling, please leave me, let me go. Krishna keeps sucking. Yeah, so that way completely took her life away. So that was but ultimately Krishna is so merciful because she came as a mother. So Krishna made her the nurse, Dayabai. And she is still helping Krishna, helping Mother Yashoda to take care of the kid, So this is Krishna. So she is still serving Krishna. If Krishna wanted actually to extend his leg, he could have extend his body. Like we can see, Prabhupada gives in the purport that if he wanted to extend his body, he could extend like Vamandev. Vamandev was so dwarf, but when he asked for 3 steps of land, at that time he extended his leg millions of miles long to the spiritual world, and it even by his nail, spiritual layers of spiritual world was cracked, and then Ganges river came through that small crack. So you can see, how much he can extend his body. So it's not like he doesn't have power to do that. He could have done that. Now, Saktasur. Prabhupada says about Saktasur. Saktasur was a ghost actually. He got a curse from a sadhu, saintly person, that you become a air bubble. So he was in the form of bubble. He was not like human form which anybody can see. So he was hiding in the sakat. Sakat means a cot where child can lie or people can put the things, So he was in the sakat, and that's why his name is Saktasu. And he was hiding as a bubble in the wheel. And Mother Yashoda, they were celebrating because on that day Krishna turned from this side to other side. He turned. So turning at that time, when he turned, then Mother Yashoda thought, let us celebrate it. So she invited all the guests, all her friends and cowboys and everything, in her house. So she was very busy. So when Krishna was feeling little tired after eating, so she put it under the sakat, that sakat. And there was little, what's a swing? Yeah, the handmade swing, underneath the sakat. So she put her there. Krishna was sleeping, but then he knew that what I had to do, I have to kill this demon which is hiding here. So he started crying. And Mother Yashoda was in the kitchen, little far away. She didn't hear the crying. So Krishna got mad that why my mother is not taking my care properly. So he kicked the wheel because his legs were towards the wheel, he kicked the wheel. And in that wheel, Saktasur was hiding and he was killed with the kick of Krishna. He kicked so strong, that a big demon can be killed. And then the cart, was in small pieces. So that way Krishna killed his Saktasur. Now, other thing is described in the purport. This purport is large and tree. Lord. So those trees were actually sons of Kuber, Nal Kuber and Manigriv. So long time ago, thousands and thousands of years ago, they were the sons of Kuber, and Kuber is the demigod of the money. All the money belongs to him. He manages all this money. So he's the big CEO, of all this finance department. So he has no. So these kids, they got spoiled completely. Like we see the rich man's kids, how sometimes they are, they don't have value for the money. They just want to finish father's money, unnecessary, which is not needed. So they were enjoying everything. And one time they were in a lake with the beautiful girls, and they were taking bath there naked. So when one time Narad Muni was passing that area, so the girls came out of water. They put a cloth on because they were ashamed in front of Narad Muni. But those Nal Kuber and Manigriv, they were drunk actually, and they didn't thought anything about Narad Muni. So they were just still shameless completely, naked in front of a rishi, Narad Muni, who is so great personality. So Narad Muni got really angry, normally doesn't get angry, but actually if they get angry, it's a benefit for other people actually all the time. Whenever they get angry or curse, any big saint, curse, it's for our benefit actually. We see everywhere we see that this Muninga curse and this Muni curse, and they curse, but for the benefit of that person. So he cursed Nal Kuber and Manigriv that become trees. Then Nal Kuber and Manigriv were very much sorry to hear that, and they prayed to Narad Muni that please do something, He said that curse cannot be taken back. So you become tree, but he said, I will give you blessing that you will be touched by Krishna. And then you will get liberation, you can come back to your own original position. So that thing happened. So when Mother Yashoda tied him down one day, Krishna was making too much noise and mischiefs in the house, he broke so many butter pots, and fed all the butter to the monkeys. So Mother Yashoda was very angry that she worked so hard, collected all that butter, and now, he's giving it to monkeys and breaking all the pots, So, and the whole house was big mess, because he broke the pots, earthen pots, on the ceiling, all the milk and butter came on the floor. So floor was so sticky. Nobody can even walk, and so everything was so messy. And Mother Yashoda thought that now she has to work so hard to clean it up. So she was running with a stick behind Krishna. Krishna was a little boy and he was crawling, 1.5 year maybe. Yeah, or 9 months, old. 9 months, little up, so he was crawling. And at that time, Mother Yashoda, he was running also a little bit, crawling and running, So Krishna started running when he saw that Mother is coming with a stick behind me. So he Krishna was running fast and fast. And Mother Yashoda having little heavy body, it was hard for him. Krishna was so thin, he's running nicely. So she was behind him, but then he thought he saw Mother, having all the sweat drops, on her forehead. Then he got little mercy on her. He stopped, and then Mother said, okay, let me hit him. And then Krishna was like doing like this, Krishna is the Lord of all the fearful personality, they are afraid of him, He is afraid of Mother, Mother's little stick, But see, that's the greatest thing, what Krishna can do for his devotees. And that's why he plays all these leelas, so we can describe those leelas and remember him for ages and ages. That's why Krishna comes here, perform leelas again and again and again, and kills the demons. And so it's all nectar and leelas actually. And Krishna plays for us actually, for the devotees, not for demons. Demons will not hear it. And even they hear, they will not value it. So all these leelas are for the devotees. And everybody else, whosoever wants to hear and liberate themselves, try to go to serve Krishna. So it's all for them, but it's all for our benefit actually, not for Krishna. Krishna wants to always enjoy. He's enjoying either in Golok, Vrindavan here. Krishna is always playful, Anandamai. He's always happy. It's not like he's unhappy anytime. 1 second he's not unhappy. Unhappy people are we in this material world who are not serving Krishna with full love and devotion. Then we suffer. Otherwise, if we serve Krishna with full heart, with pure love, then we will be always happy also. Because happiness comes from Krishna. He is the source of all the happiness. So how we will not be happy if we serve him properly? So then Nalkuber, then Mother tied him up with the rope, with that grinder, Yeah. And because that I want to tie you up here, you will not go anywhere and not do any mischief, So Mother Yashoda left him alone in the yard. And he was crying, no, Mother, please take me, you free me from these ropes, And Mother will not do that. She left inside. Now, as soon as Mother left, Krishna, with the rope, he just went, and those heavy wooden grinder, fell down, and then he was going with Krishna, because Krishna's belly was tied with that rope, and then that he crossed he got those two trees, and then the grinder is stuck between those two trees, and then Krishna just went a little further, not without any try. Those trees were so strong, they were there for 60,000 years. You can imagine how strong they were. And they were touching the sky. They were so tall, and so stout and big. Now, they suddenly, by little force, Krishna, they just came down to the earth. And then there was so big noise, like a big bombardment like that. And with big noise, Mother Yashoda heard that noise and she ran out, and all the gopis also ran out. And when Mother Yashoda saw, because of little childish love, she was thinking that, oh, Krishna, Lord saved my son, from the falling the tree. She never thought that that little boy can actually break these big trees, how somebody can think that way. So, from those trees, the Nalkuber and Manigriv came out, and they gave the prayers to the Krishna, and Krishna sent them back to their original Nalcobert's place, and where Kuber lives, and then they are enjoying. Now, in 5 minutes, we will say about Kalia, which is in the text number 28, is the discussion of Kalia, how Kalia was killed by Krishna. So this is just a small description. The big description we will read in 10th canto and the 16th chapter. Okay, so Kalia was actually name of the big serpent, big serpentine. So he was a poisonous naga, and he was living in Yamuna river. Now, anybody knows why he was in Yamuna? He was afraid from Garuda. He was afraid of Garuda, but why he was afraid? Where he was living before? He was living in Ramnak Dweep. There is island, Ramnak Island, which is near Fiji Island now. So that's the original place for Kalia. He was living there, but Garud came and there was some fight or something in our horse. He got cursed, so Garud, because all the time Garud eats the snakes, so he will eat Kalia. So that's why he came to Yamuna. But here also he can eat. But actually, in Yamuna, no, Garud was cursed that you cannot come to this area. Garud was cursed. So Kalia thought that this area is safe for me. Garud will not come and kill me here. So that's why he was living in the Yamuna. But his poison was so bad, when he was even breathing, the birds, will come down in the Yamuna, that poisonous, and whole his fumes and everything, Yamuna, all the fishes and everything in the water, all the water creatures actually died in the water. So that Kalia was living, and Krishna saw the Kalia and he really wanted to kill him. But he cannot just go because everybody will say, no, stop. Balram and everybody will stopping, and nobody was going in that area. So what Krishna did, he went on a tree. All the trees and everything were dead. Only one tree was there. So Krishna climbed that tree, and then the Gopas were playing the ball, and by mistake, one Gopa threw the ball and it fell in the Yamuna. So he said, don't worry, I will get the ball. Not like I'm going to kill the Kalia. He didn't say that. He just went to get the ball, and then he just went inside the water and he kicked the Kalia there. Get up, I will kill you. So Kalia went out of the water and he actually went all around Krishna, So the Gopas saw that the Kalia actually raped him around, and they were really worried that he will kill him because he was so big. But then, because Krishna saw the Gopas at that time, that Gopas are really crying to see him in this condition, he came out of those coils, and then he climbed on the hoods of Kalia, and then he started dancing. Kalia had thousands and thousands of hoods, and he had real nice dance on the hoods, and the hoods were compressed, and all the poison was coming out of Kalia mouth, and he danced there. Then ultimately, he didn't kill him though, because Kalia was actually a pious person in the previous life, but he became Kalia with some curse, So Krishna didn't wanted to kill him. And Nagpatnis were very, very pious ladies, and they prayed to Krishna that please spare life of my husband. So that way Krishna didn't want it, but Krishna told him that you cannot live here anymore. You go to Ramantak Dweep again. So Kalia is now near Fiji Island. And that's why in Fiji, Prabhupada actually opened the temple, Krishna Kalia temple. And that temple is there. And big temple there. So Kalia is not killed, but he got liberated from Krishna, and he went to the original position in Garud. Krishna told the Garud will not bother you there anymore. So Kalia is there. So we had all nectar and leelas today. The Kalia, of the Tranavat, of the Yamnardin trees, of the Putna, and how we can say that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we discuss about so many shlokas from Bhagavad Gita and other literature. So I hope you realized it, and we should actually meditate upon those leelas of Krishna, and that can actually take us to go to Vrindavan and we can serve Krishna either here or there. Doesn't matter, but services should be our first priority in life to Krishna with whole heart. Thank you very much for listening. And we still have 2-3 minutes, so we can discuss. Anybody has any comment here in the temple room or on the Zoom? So somebody can ask me questions about that. And then we can discuss them. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. This one? The first time I will give chance to the people in the Zoom, so anybody can ask them. People in the temple can ask questions. Anyone have any comment?
Why did, I don't know. A lot, I don't know a lot, so please forgive me if I'm.
No problem. Sorry.
Why stopped reincarnating or, yeah. Why did he stop reincarnation in this life?
Why has Krishna stopped reincarnating?
No, he comes all the place. They cannot. He just came here 5,000 years ago. So yeah, he goes. He's in some other. He's performing Leela in some other universe. It's not like he goes university, and then again after a couple trillions of years, he will come back again. So because he comes only one yuga, only one time. So now when the earth will be disseminated, everything goes away, then Satya will come again. Krishna will come again. Yeah. He comes. Every yuga he comes. It's not he stopped. Yeah, he remembers us. We all are his children, he loves us very dearly, and he comes here all the time. Call us back. Let's forget about enjoying here, This enjoyment is very recurring, very small enjoyment. We stay high, that's what we say. That all the time enjoying. We can enjoy all the time Krishna consciousness only, not in this material world. That's what we should do. Anyone else? Any comment, question?
Can you ever spawn back in?
Huh?
Can you ever spawn back in? Like, I would love to see him just do some crazy things, like move the mountain, like, really levitate off the ground, just anything that's crazy. Like, I would like to see that. Can you spawn back in?
He was asking, it would be great to see the miracles that Krishna performed, like lifting a mountain or doing some of these leelas that.
It's all described in the literature, Vedic literature. So if people saw them when they were present there, we are not that lucky or pious, to see those leela. I would say, but Vasis were there, they were seeing, and they all were from the Golok Vrindavan. Yeah, so actually it's hard for us, when we become pure, we will be seeing those leelas. We can actually purify our existence and then go to Golok Vrindavan and see Krishna every day. Krishna makes his form for everybody to serve him. There are so many Krishnas in Golok Vrindavan, one for everybody. Because I asked this question to one Maharaj that how I will serve Krishna. There will be so many people to serve him, Because the spiritual world, there are so many people there. This material world is only 1/4 of that. Real people are living there. We are very few. We are like prisoners are very few, not too many. In society, there are so many people. So in Krishna love, there are so many people, millions of people there. So I said, how I will get chance to serve him, So he said, no, Krishna makes many forms, one for each person to serve. So we will serve Krishna continuously. Krishna will be with us. Yeah, like he was with so many thousands and thousands of wives, Like Krishna will be there for us, He will play with us, we can serve him. And we'll be so happy there, you know, no anxiety, no worries also. Do what we eat, nothing. Like Krishna providing here also. We don't realize because for brain we are thinking that kind of a fighter of everything, and so that we fuck up. It's not Krishna. We have to think properly and see how Krishna is doing for us, what he's doing. Happy. So one day you will go there. You just serve Krishna. That's it. Follow Prabhupada's instructions. Then you will, and you can see by your own eyes all these things. Anyone other had any question or comment?
Yeah, you talk about like trees like earlier on. I was thinking like, you ever hear the story Jack and Beanstalk? I didn't think of that. Yeah, heard of that.
Yes, ma'am.
So I just want to add to what you're saying. We have to make ourselves qualified to see Krishna. Prabhupada could see Krishna. Prabhupada would be chanting, could see Narad Muni, he could see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he was qualified. We have to be qualified to see Krishna. And you can see him, and you can see him do miracles.
Yeah, anybody cannot demand, I want to see, you know. You cannot see even Trump or Bush or anybody. Biden, you cannot see them. So this is small president, you know, which is from one country, you know, this whole universe is so big. So you cannot see that kind of person. How we can see Krishna, who is the proprietor of everything? Big guy, you know, we have to make qualified ourselves. When we are qualified, we can see. But like Sri Prabhupada and Mataji said, he was seeing Krishna every second. Krishna was always, he was always in his thoughts, and he was seeing Krishna all the time. Many great saints saw Krishna. So it's not like he is not visible, but we have to make ourselves qualified to do that. It can be done, pure doubt, pure bhakti. But you know, we are so much contaminated. Our heart is has so much dirt, many layers of dirt. We have to first clean the dirt, then we can get purified. That's why say Cheto Darpana Marjana. We have to just clean our mirror of our heart, where we can get purified. So the time is up now, so we'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo Vaishnavendra